Hey everybody, it's me, Fluffy123, here with another video for you, and today I figured that we should do something new, audiobook reaction. I know. Sounds kinda weird, but hey, I love listening to audiobooks while I do Minecraft or play video games, so I figured that this would be just the perfect way to, I don't know, bond with you guys, I don't know. But yeah, so like I'll just be playing while I react to this book called Howl's Moving Castle. I mean, I've seen the movie, and and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I have listened to chunks and bits of the book, but I am still gonna react to it because because like the chunks and bits I have heard are really good, and yeah. So yeah, are you guys ready? I think we are. Here I'm going to opening credits.
This is Audible.
Here we go.
Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones.
Well,
narrated by Jenny Sterlin and directed by Matt Wilson.
Well, I bet they did amazing.
Chapter 1, in which Sophie talks to hats.
Okay, she's crazy.
In the land of
Loves
Ingery,
crazy.
where such things as 7-league boots and cloaks of invisibility really exist,
Ooh!
it is quite a misfortune to be born the eldest of 3.
I thought it was the
Everyone knows you are the one who will fail first, and worst, if the 3 of you set out to seek your fortunes.
Ooh, yeah,
Sophie
she makes a good
was the eldest
argument.
of 3
I mean, I'm
sisters.
not the middle.
She was not even the child of a
oldest,
poor
but it's the
woodcutter,
oldest, too.
which might have given her some chance of success.
Her
parents were well-to-do and kept a lady's hat shop in the prosperous town of Market Chipping.
Ooh!
True,
That sounds very
her own
cute.
mother died when Sophie
very
was
cute.
2 years old,
Ooh.
and her
Disney,
sister Letty was 1 year
protagonist
old,
here.
and their father married his youngest shop assistant, a pretty blonde girl called Fanny.
Oh, she's
Fanny shortly gave birth to the 3rd sister, Martha. This ought to have made Sophie and Letty into ugly sisters. But in fact, all 3 girls grew up very pretty indeed.
Oh, that's pretty
Though
good.
Letty was the one everyone said was most beautiful.
Ew, that must be
Fanny
terrible. You don't
treated
like
all
being
3
compared.
girls with the same kindness and did not favor Martha in the least.
Oh, well, I guess that she's not
Mr. Hatter
a
was
Disney
proud of
protagonist.
his 3 daughters
Her mom's not
and
a
sent
jerk.
them all to the best school in town. Sophie was the
Oh,
most
nice
studious.
dad.
She read a great deal and very soon realized how little chance she had of an interesting future.
Oh.
It was a disappointment to her, but she was still happy enough, looking after her sisters and grooming Martha to seek her fortune when the time came.
Aw.
Since Fanny was always busy in the shop, Sophie was the one who looked after the younger 2. There was a certain amount of screaming and hair-pulling between those younger 2.
Yeah.
Letty was by no means resigned to being the one who, next to Sophie, was bound to be the least successful.
Oh.
"It's not fair," Letty would shout. "Why should Martha have the best of it just because she was born the youngest?
Oh.
I shall marry a prince, so there." To which Martha always retorted that she would end up disgustingly rich without having to marry anybody.
Well,
Then
she's very
Sophie would
ambitious.
have to drag them apart and mend their clothes. She was very deft with her
Scratchy
needle.
children.
As time went on, she made clothes for her sisters too.
Ooh.
There was
A
one
seamstress.
deep
That must
rose
be very nice
outfit
to
she
have in the
made for
family.
Letty, the May Day before this story really starts, which Fanny said looked as if it had come from the most expensive shop in Kingsbury.
Ooh. Very nice.
About this time, everyone began talking of the Witch of the Waste again.
Oh no.
It was said the witch had threatened the life of the king's daughter, and that the king had commanded his personal magician, Wizard Suleiman, to go into the waste and deal with the witch. And it seemed that Wizard Suleiman had not only failed to deal with the witch,
That's not good.
he had got himself killed by her.
Ooh.
So,
Very not good.
When, a few months after that,
You know,
a tall
like-
black castle suddenly
He's not
appeared
gonna
on
be
the
able to work
hills
in for
above
days.
Market Chipping, blowing clouds of black smoke from its 4 tall, thin turrets,
Oh.
Everybody was fairly sure that the witch had moved out of the waste again and was about to terrorize the country the way she used to 50 years ago. People got very scared indeed.
Yeah.
Nobody went out alone, particularly at night. What made it all the scarier was that the castle did not stay in the same place.
Oh, dear.
Sometimes it was a tall black smudge on the moors to the northwest. Sometimes it reared above the rocks to the east, and sometimes it came right downhill to sit in the heather, only just beyond the last farm to the north. You could see it actually moving sometimes, with smoke pouring out from the turrets in dirty grey gusts. For a while, everyone was certain that the castle would come right down into the valley before long, and the mayor talked of sending to the king for help.
Very smart
But the
king,
castle stayed roving about the hills, and it was learned that it did not belong to the witch, but to Wizard Howl. Wizard Howl was bad enough. Though he did not seem to want to leave the hills, he was known to amuse himself by collecting young girls and sucking the souls from them.
Scary, like a weird
people
vampire.
Said he ate their hearts.
Ooh,
he was an utterly cold-blooded and heartless wizard, and no young girl was safe from him if he caught her on her own. Sophie, Letty, and Martha, along with all the other girls in Market Chipping, were warned never to go out alone, which was a great annoyance to them.
Yeah,
they wondered what use Wizard Howl found for all the souls he collected. They had other things on their minds before long, however. For Mr. Hatter died suddenly, as Sophie was old enough to leave school for good. It then appeared that Mr. Hatter had been altogether too proud of his daughters. The school fees he had been paying had left the shop with quite heavy debts. When the funeral was over, Fanny sat down in the parlour in the house next door to the shop and explained the situation. "You'll all have to leave that school, I'm afraid," she said. "I've been doing sums back and front and sideways, and the only way I can see to keep the business going and take care of the three of you is to see you all settled in a promising apprenticeship somewhere.
Very nice,
It isn't practical to have you all in the shop. I can't afford it. So, this is what I've decided. Letty first." Letty looked up, glowing with health and beauty, which even sorrow and black clothes could not hide. "I want to go on learning," she said. "So you shall, love," said Fanny.
What shall you be doing?
"I've arranged for you to be apprenticed to Cesaris, the pastry cook in Market Square. They've a name for treating their learners like kings and queens, and you should be very happy there, as well as learning a useful trade. Mrs. Cesaris, a good customer and a good friend, and she's agreed to squeeze you in as a favour."
Nice.
Letty laughed in the way that showed she was not at all pleased.
"Oh.
"Well, thank you," she said. "Isn't it lucky that I like cooking?"
Oh, no,
Fanny
I bet
looked
she does not like cooking.
Letty could be awkwardly strong-minded at times. "Now, Martha,"
Better
she
to
said,
be awkwardly, well, I guess
know
not.
you're
Show
full
people that
young
you're
to go
grumpy,
out
I
to
guess.
work.
I don't know.
So I thought round for something that would give you a long, quiet apprenticeship and go on being useful to you, whatever you decide to do after that. You know my old school friend, Annabel Fairfax?
Who's she?
Martha, who was slender and fair, fixed her big grey eyes on Fanny almost as strong-mindedly as Letty. "You mean the one who talks such a lot?" she said. "Isn't she a witch?"
Yes,
with a lovely house and clients all over the Folding Valley," Fanny said eagerly. "She's a good woman, Martha. She'll teach you all she knows and very likely introduce you to grand people she knows in Kingsbury. You'll be all set up in life when she's done with you." "She's a nice lady," Martha conceded. "All right." Sophie, listening, felt that Fanny had worked everything out just as it should be. Letty, as the second daughter, was never likely to come to much, So Fanny had put her where she might meet a handsome young apprentice and live happily ever after.
All right.
Martha, who was bound to strike out and make her fortune, would have witchcraft and rich friends to help her.
Nice, nice. That's very nice.
As for Sophie herself, Sophie had no doubt what was coming. It did not surprise her when Fanny said, "Now, Sophie, dear, it seems only right and just that you should inherit the hat shop when I retire, being the eldest as you are. So I've decided to take you on as apprentice myself." About that, Sophie could hardly say that she simply felt resigned to the hat trade. She thanked Fanny gratefully. "So, that's settled then," Fanny said. The next day, Sophie helped Martha pack her clothes in a box, and the morning after that, they all saw her off on the carrier's cart, looking small and upright and nervous.
Yeah.
For the way to Upper Folding, where Mrs. Fairfax lived, lay over the hills past Wizard Howl's moving castle. Martha was understandably scared. "She'll be all right," said Letty.
And that's the end of the book for today. Well, I hope that was good. I hope I reacted well. And I hope that you guys would like to see more of these, because I like it and I want to do it. I guess everyone's not really surprised about what I'm doing. I was just making a unicorn. See, maybe not the best, but nah, it's pretty cute, if you ask me. So, anyway, but, yeah, I guess that will be the end of the video for today. I thank you guys for watching, and, yeah, see you next week, and back to you! Bye!